That will do it for 8 News at 5:30, but stick with us. 8 News at 6 is next.
Now on 8 News at 6, more than 40 years of forecasting.
I can hear the severe weather alarm going off.
Unique sayings.
Oh man, are they having some frog chokers down in the Big D?
And of course, laughs.
Gangnam Style. We need the music from Psy behind us.
Today, we're sending off Chief Meteorologist John Bernier as he rides off into retirement. Plus, the future of Medicaid up in the air. How many Virginians could lose coverage if the federal government slashes the health care program?
Live with the news where you live. 8 News at 6 starts now.
A weather legend, a pillar in the Richmond community. 8 News Chief Meteorologist John Bernier retiring tonight. You're watching 8 News at 6. I'm Eric Philips.
I'm Deanna Allbrittin. Today is JB's last day after more than 40. You may not recognize him there on the left, but yes, that is JB many years ago. Yes, 2 JBs. Yes, with a different haircut, a few different styles. So we want to start by highlighting one of John's most well-known attributes, his unique terminology, or JB-isms, as we call them. Now, a walk down memory lane.
The high-pressure system that brought us the beautiful weather, well, it's stuck, almost like a nut in a nutcracker. A frontal system coming down. Cold front sweeping in from the west. This guy's going to be the big broom that's going to boot everything out of the way. One's out of gas. It can't move down here and cool us down. We have to watch the next one that's coming across the northern plains. And boy, this is producing some wheat whackers tonight. Here's a cold front. That's the news for us. This guy's the Muggy Smasher when he blasts through here in 24 hours. Maybe to around freezing or so. Tomorrow evening, here it comes. The snow will be falling like lard in the southwestern part of the state. Along this cold front, boy, there's some corn flatteners from portions of Kansas all the way up to Iowa and Minnesota this evening. Fair weather systems over the eastern seaboard. We are in good shape. Sunshine sandwich for us. We got clouds from the north, clouds and showers down to the south. Otherwise, no real big problems across the region.
Elvis Costello and the attractions. We're going to take temperatures and pump it up over the next few days. Goodness, big time clangers and bangers down there. Saturday could be a kindling maker out there, friends. Strong winds through.
A lot of those Bernierisms, and we actually had viewers reaching out to us to talk about those. We also have something we want to present you with here today. This is a letter from Mayor Danny Avula, who wanted to congratulate you on your retirement, but also the place that you've held in this community. Eric called you a pillar. He did talk about how much gratitude the entire community and the folks at City Hall have for the work that you've done.
And I thank Mayor Avula, Dr. Danny, and especially for all the work he did helping us out during the horrible pandemic 5 years ago. So, all right, we got to go talk about the weather today. You know, the sun came out for us here. Of course, the pollen's coming out here, you know, and all that pollen coming out of the skies. You know, Eric, that's a little bit of a dome duster for you out there. What's going on? And we need some rain to wash it away. We don't have any out there right now for us here. Real-time Viper radar is all quiet. It is going to stay that way for tomorrow, but the chances for a few showers will be coming your way when we get into Friday. Outside the back door right now, it is nice over us here. We are set up for a great evening over the area. Our current temperature right now is in the lower 70s. Look at how we drop through the evening hours. Low humidity over us here. By the time you wake up early tomorrow morning, a very comfortable, throw open the windows type morning and enjoy a nice breath of fresh air. We're still going to have some pollen in it, though, with an early morning temperature of 49 degrees. We'll talk all about the forecast into the weekend for one more time, coming up in a few minutes.
All right, JB, we look forward to it. The latest battle tonight over who should be handling Richmond's 911 calls taking a new turn.
Yesterday, city council members expressed frustration that information they requested was not presented during the Public Safety Committee meeting.
8 News reporter Jamal Williams joining us now live in the Digital Center. And Jamal, what is the next step?
Well, Eric, Deanna, city officials gave both the Department of Emergency Communication and the Richmond Ambulance Authority more time to present one presentation that compares their 911 call data. This makes it the third time they postponed making a recommendation. RAA CEO Chip Decker presented data showing how this organization meets industry-accepted standards. And before the meeting, DEC provided council members with their own 911 call data, which I revealed in the previous story. But this wasn't the apples-to-apples comparison council committee members say they asked for.
I must express my frustration that this is now, we'll be going 3 months into the running on this, and it feels like a disrespect of our time.
I think I've asked for this before last month. Now here we are again. Evidently, you don't take this very seriously, or you don't take this committee very seriously. That's the way I feel. And I'm not happy about it.
DEC's director said in the meeting that they were not under the impression that a joint presentation was needed. RAA tells me they will do everything they can to fulfill the committee's request. Now, I've asked city council members what exactly they're looking for since we previously obtained the data needed to do our own apples-to-apples comparison of 911 call answering time and processing. Both organizations are expected to give a joint presentation on May 29th. Live in the Digital Center, Jamal Williams, 8 News.
And of course, we will continue to follow it, Jamal. Thanks. In your Capital Connection tonight, Virginia Democrats are sounding the alarm, saying nearly 630,000 Virginians could soon lose their health care coverage. As Capitol Bureau reporter Tyler Englander reports, some Republicans in Congress are floating the idea of limiting how much the federal government pays for Medicare expansion.
Currently, the federal government covers 90% of the costs associated with people covered by Medicaid expansion. The problem, however, if Congress reduces that percentage, all 630,000 Virginians covered by the expansion will immediately lose coverage. Before expansion, Medicaid in Virginia only covered mostly children, disabled adults, and working parents, making up to about 33% of the federal poverty limit. But in 2018, Virginia expanded Medicaid to include all adults, making up to 138% of the federal poverty limit, regardless of whether they were a parent or not. Per the Affordable Care Act, the federal government covers 90% of the costs associated with the newly covered population, some 630,000 people in Virginia. However, Virginia has a trigger law repealing expansion if Congress reduces the federal government's obligation below 90%.
If we lose just 1%, our trigger language here in Virginia is that 630,000 Virginians automatically lose that critical coverage.
In a statement, Republican Congressman Rob Whitman, who previously wrote a letter to House Speaker Mike Johnson saying he wouldn't support Medicaid cuts, said, quote, "I support targeted reforms to the Medicaid system that ensure Virginia's vulnerable populations continue to receive the health care coverage they need." Whitman added, quote, "No bill text has been released for how Congress will appropriate federal funds to Medicaid, but I plan to review legislative text thoroughly to ensure there's a federal-state solution to make health care affordable and accessible for Virginians." At the state capitol, I'm Tyler Englander.
Thanks, Tyler. Big shifts in abortion access recently have put Virginia in the spotlight.
It's the last state in the South to have no ban or waiting period for abortions since Roe v. Wade was overturned in 2022. A new Guttmacher Institute study showing abortions in Virginia rose more than 16% from 2023 to 2024, while neighboring states with bans saw declines.
8 News reporter Sahara Sriraman joins us now in studio with the details. Sahara.
Eric, Deanna, this data underscores the surge in patients traveling to Virginia since Roe was reversed, with some states enacting new restrictions or even complete bans. I spoke to people on both sides of this issue to get a complete picture of what these growing trends could signal for the future. Planned Parenthood data shows between 2023 and last year, the percentage of out-of-state patients coming to Virginia for abortion care jumped from 15% to 25%. Victoria Cobb from the Family Foundation calls that rise in out-of-state abortions in Virginia concerning. She says the focus should be on supporting life. On the other side, Ray Pickett with Planned Parenthood argues that abortion is essential health care and where you live shouldn't limit access.
they may regret this decision. We know so many women that do, and that instead, I'd love to help them find the network of support, or if they choose to give this child up for an adoption.
I want people to know that no matter how they decide to end their pregnancy, there are people who love them, there are people who support them.
Now, it's important to remember abortion is not enshrined in our state constitution, but next year, Virginians will get to vote on whether or not to amend it to guarantee abortion access. Live in the studio, Sahar Suraman, 8 News.
All right, Sahara, thanks. The latest now as Prince George votes to keep adoption rules at the county's only animal shelter the same. The price to adopt will still be $100 for dogs and $75 for cats, and animals still have to be spayed or neutered before leaving. County leaders say they may reevaluate their vote in the future. Still ahead on 8 News at 6, Henrico going solar. How a new initiative could help you save on your energy bill. That's coming up next.
Every town has its leading meteorologist. TVH's John Bernier is Richmond's.
Well, folks, speaking of rain, we have a little bit coming our way when we get into Friday and Saturday. Showers both days, not an all-day washout. Looks like the rainfall amounts, though, maybe to the east of us, with the showers will be a little bigger on Saturday. Could be over half an inch of rain, help flush some of the pollen away. We'll talk all about your forecasts coming up in a moment.
All right, you're watching 8 News at 6. We are covering the news where you live.
He just mentioned pollen, so don't forget those pollen flushers, those bucket fillers, weed whackers, and hay rotters. Stay with us as we continue celebrating and honoring JB as he sails off into retirement. 8 News at 6 is back in just a moment.
One Henrico resident is leading the charge for cleaner air and cheaper utility bills. Welcome back to 8 News at 6. I'm Eric Philips.
I'm Deanna Allbrittin. Henrico County and Dominion Energy are finishing their first residential solar panel installation as part of their Solar Access Henrico initiative. 8 News reporter Sierra Krug joins us live in Henrico. Sierra, can you show us how exactly this program works?
Deanna, Eric, yes, I can. The point of this partnership is to give Henrico residents access to Dominion Energy's solar services entirely for free. Now, when I first got here today, this roof was a blank canvas. Now it looks a lot different, so we're going to zoom in and show you over here. It's hard to believe this all happened in just one day, and I'm told it's just the beginning.
Reaching for the sun.
Have you been spreading the word to your neighbors?
You know I have. You know I have, knocking on your door. Hey, I'm having solar installed. Let me tell you about the program.
Living in her Henrico home for about 2 years, Valerie Riley found out she qualified for Solar Access Henrico on April 1st. Now, less than a month later,
the sun is shining on us, and it's going to be shining even more.
Here comes the sun. County officials tell us their $5 million fund can bring Dominion Energy solar power to up to 250 Henrico households. Homeowners must make less than the area's median income and live somewhere accessible for the panels.
Totally free to me. Can you believe it?
Saving Riley an estimated $60,000 over the next 30 years. Now, it's always sunny in Verina. District Supervisor Tyrone Nelson says the county has prioritized its relationship with Mother Nature for decades, and that this marks another sustainability success.
It's not just about reducing costs for them, but it's also environmental impacts.
My grandbabies will have cleaner air to breathe. And a reduction of bills, anytime you can reduce a bill, that's a win-win.
You might see some of those kiddos enjoying the cleaner air right here behind me. Now, again, this is for Henrico homeowners only. There are also some income and environmental factors that need to be considered as well. We have information on how you can figure out if you're eligible online at WRIC.com. Live in Henrico, Sierra Krug, 8 News.
I'd love to call this forecast Dog Days Afternoon, but Al Pacino stole that title from me a couple of years ago.
Yes, the nice clear blue skies behind Sierra telling you you're going for a pretty good night across the area. We're looking at temperatures by early tomorrow morning falling down into the mid to upper 40s over us here. We'll break down your full forecast coming up in a moment.
StormTracker 8 weather is sponsored by FH Fur. Absolutely the best. The most accurate forecast in Central Virginia. Now, your StormTracker 8 weather.
Hello, everyone. StormTracker 8 Chief Meteorologist John Bernier. One last time for the StormTracker 8 forecast for all of you. It is a great start to the evening over us here. We are in the mid to upper 60s to the east of us. You've got the winds coming in off the Chesapeake Bay, Mother Nature's own little cooler. Its own little Yeti out there, keeping you a little bit cooler. 73 degrees for us, as you can see, and you've got temperatures mid to upper 70s back to the west as you head over towards Charlottesville and Lynchburg. We had some clouds earlier. They have moved out of the way for us here. The system that came by yesterday, it's down to the south. Got some thunderstorms down here, moving across, the Grand Strand, down around Myrtle Beach, up as you head towards Morehead City. Others back off to the west, as you see over northern Alabama. Now the big action is firing up out here, out over the Plain States. This one's pretty good, and you can see how good over 40 years the satellite photos have become. Watch these right here. You can see the shadows under those storms ongoing off to the west. Let's show you real-time Viper radar and show you what is going on with some of these storms. Boy, they got some nasty ones out here over Kansas right now. Turn on the warnings for you, some severe thunderstorm warnings. Starting to see a few tornado warnings popping up here in northeastern Kansas, and another tornado warning right there. These are going to be the big storms tonight, way out there over the western high plains. You've got an easy evening tonight with the clear skies for you. When we wake up tomorrow morning, we are going to start the day off in all kinds of great shape. Sunshine for you here. There is moisture coming back into the southwest, so we'll start to get clouds here. Maybe a little thin cloud for us late in the day. Then we go tomorrow night, okay, all the way into Friday morning. It's not going to go just cloudy over us here. These are the high, thin clouds. So we'll get partly cloudy skies. Then as we get into the afternoon hours, we'll start to see some showers and thunderstorms popping up over us here. System off to the west, back out here, coming through the Midwest over towards Indianapolis, one of Deanna's favorite places. That's going to start bringing us another chance, a better chance, I think, of showers and storms coming up on Saturday, Friday and Saturday, 82 degrees, and then we kind of crush the heat a little bit, bring us back down into the 70s. Sunday, Monday, another chance of some big boomers potentially next Wednesday. Eric.
Okay, so in honor of JB's last day, now is your time to speak up. What will you miss most about John Bernier, according to those of you who have
there he is right
so
now.
far? Right, he's making a cameo appearance in our camera shot there. No worries about it, though, JB. Don't worry about it. We're just doing news. According to those who have responded so far, 56% of you are saying you are going to miss his accurate forecasts the most. A lot of you also saying you're going to miss those Bernier-isms like gutter flushers and corn flatteners and such.
And there's still plenty of time to update our poll live. Maybe you missed the endless trivia knowledge. So visit us online at WRIC.com/speakup, or find it in your 8 News app, or scan this QR code. Matt. JB.
I voted for the endless knowledge.
The endless knowledge.
Because anytime that I worked with you, you hit me with so much knowledge. I was like, where are we going with this?
Yeah.
Because you didn't come at it directly. It was like around the bend style.
Yeah. Unlike getting over here, because really, we're on the opposite side of the studio from where we do weather, and the direct line is here. The other way is an obstacle course.
For sure.
So now it's time to hand everything over and turn things over. Just like the president has the nuclear codes right here. There are all the codes to all the operating
All this is the key card, folks. That's all it is. But that means that he doesn't want to come back in the building. John, it has truly been a pleasure.
Thank
you so much. 41 years from myself, from Eric, Deanna, everybody. It's been great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It's news that shocked the college basketball world. An instant classic at Richmond Raceway.
The weather's great. The excitement is building.
How much excitement do you have?
The 2025 draft lands in Lambeau.
And your team is on the clock.
Draft day preview.
Thursday at 7:30 on ABC 8. Sponsored by Summer Lake and Chesden Landing. 8 Sports is sponsored by Chesden Landing, Richmond's premier golf and waterfront community.
Well, hello and welcome back in 8 Sports, everyone. I'm Nolan Knight. Guys, we're just over 24 hours away from the 2025 NFL Draft kicking off right here on Channel 8. And there are multiple 804 athletes that are hoping to hear their name called. And I can almost guarantee that at least one name will hear that NFL jingle tomorrow night. And that's none other than this guy right here. The Atlee High School legend, Tyler Warren, is projected to go inside of the top 10. And why wouldn't he? Last year for Penn State, Warren was a machine, setting all sorts of records for the Nittany Lions on the way to finish finishing 7th in Heisman voting. He racked up 1,200 yards and 8 scores. He'll be the first Raider to ever go pro, according to Pro Football Reference. Another name that could go off the board in night 1 is former #1 running back in the country. That's Hopewell's own Travion Henderson, 5-year starter for the Buckeyes. Henderson was incredible again this past year on the way to help leading the Buckeyes to a national championship. As for the former Highland Springs High School wide receiver Juice Wells, he will probably have to wait until Saturday to hear his name called, as the South Carolina/Ole Miss receiver is projected to go in the 7th round or be a free agent. But for him, he told me that he's not nervous about whether or not he will hear his name called.
I'm not nervous, it's more so excited and eager to just get ready to go in and, get to work. I feel like I put in a lot of work, so I'm really confident, in my game. And I just feel like, wherever I go, it's going to be a blessing. So I'm really excited, honestly.
And you can see that full interview with the former with the former Springer coming up next in sports later on 6:45 on WRIC Now for a special edition of 8 Sports Nightcap. That'll do it here for Sports Now tonight at 6. A final goodbye to JB is next.
8 News, news where you live with Heather Hope, weekdays starting at 4.
All right, folks, we got a great Wednesday evening headed in your direction. Looking at temperatures by tomorrow morning, mid to upper 40s over us here. We have sunshine tomorrow, 78 degrees. Then things get a little unsettled as we go into Friday and Saturday with some showers and thunderstorms possible across the region over us. That'll cool us down on Sunday. And then as we go through, we've got, you can see, some rather nice weather early next week with some storms coming next Wednesday. So, all right. That's it, folks.
So it would not feel right if we didn't wrap up our final show without bringing in the whole crew here at 8 News.
Yeah, and realize these are the people who make us look so good every night on TV. So, yeah.
And so, JB, all of the folks you see here, plus many more, have signed this retired and admired card. And we even left on the front for you a note that a reporter probably meant for themselves, but it felt fitting to leave that on as well.
Well, thank you. Thank you all.
So happy retirement. We have this cake for you as well. We don't want to tilt it. We don't want it to end up on
Right, watch it, boom, down it goes.
Because we do want to eat it, of course.
Yep, that's headed right out in the newsroom, so.
JB and all of his gutter
later.
flushers sailing off into retirement.
News where you live with Eric Philips, weekdays starting at 4.